These people are definitely on acid, okay? And I don't like it.
Not going to get in North America virtual mirrors. So you got a screen here.
Virtual side mirrors, as if the mirrors weren't working already. Like, good. I hope we don't get them. It's one less thing that could go wrong on my fucking car. But seriously.
And if I put my hand on the outside, well,
they're smoking something, dude.
It's not a mirror.
Like,
it's a camera. Do we need these in Canada or not?
No, you don't.
This has to be the...
You know what? I do kind of get it. I don't get it. You guys back here? Anybody in here get it? I personally don't understand. Maybe you guys can fill me in. But I'm good on the... That's fine. It's all good. Anyways, on to the new Mustang Mach E. Piece of...
Worst new car you could buy today. This is a Ford Mach E. And it's not that this is a bad car from any driving or look standpoint.
You know, for being an electric car, for those of you just listening, there's a giant gas cap. Well, electric cap. But it's huge. It's giant. It looks like it could be like a TV tray. Like if you're outside and you're tailgating, you like flop it down, you could put a meal on it. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways.
I mean, personally, I think it looks really good. I think the inside is really nicely laid out. You get that nice Tesla tab.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Look at this fucking tablet, dude. Look at that thing. It's literally bigger than my computer screen I'm looking at right now. In your car. Like, I don't understand. How many of these do we need? I'm for real. I'm serious. I just personally don't understand it. It's like you have one already. Statistically speaking, most people have one of these already. Like, I don't get it, honestly. I'm good.
Tesla tab. You actually get a display, right? Like
another
a normal
one.
car up front. First thing has to be on how fast it depreciates.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. But, you know, for 40 grand, you know, you could drive an iPhone. So, I personally don't get it, though. I really don't.
2020.
And apparently they suck. I never owned one. They do. I'm not saying they look bad. I'm not saying that. This will make sense in a minute here. Let's move on to the Tesla, something you guys actually care about. All right. Model S, jet black, the Bruce Leroy special.
22 Tesla Model S Plaid, fully loaded, and this is why it sucks. After taxes and registration, this car is almost $170,000 and the door can't even close properly. It was just delivered, has no miles. Look at this panel gap. That's an air gun. I'm fitting it inside
Just wait
there.
for it.
It goes inside this headlight, but you go over to the other side and it doesn't fit. That's how poor this alignment is. What's going on with your cars, Elon? How are you sending people this for this much money? Let's go into the cabin, see where it's also falling apart. I mean, this thing is flimsy. It looks like it's held together by duct tape. I feel like it was put together by me. Everything is just so Fisher-Price. It's gonna be like one of those videos like, hello.
Okay, here's the first time I was ever in a Tesla. I was in there, and it's almost like everything's so minimal. There's no buttons anywhere. You almost don't know what to do. It's kind of odd, actually. You would think you'd get more buttons for the amount of money, but no, it's the opposite of that. But I was feeling around, and it was exactly what that guy was saying. It was just like kind of, it felt cheap. It felt like, didn't feel good. I literally, I equate it to this. It was like one butt cheek. You know what I mean? It was half-ass. You know, I'm a two butt cheek kind of guy. Okay, if there's no two, I'm an ass man. Okay, we're talking one butt cheek, very half-ass. But check this out. Here's a 2023 for 74 grand. But here's where I'm getting at with you're basically buying an iPhone, right? Hold on. Now here's a 2016, 11 years old, for $20,000. Now here's where I'm getting at with this. Since this is all basically just one big phone on wheels. The iPhone, yeah? Are you going to go buy a 2016 iPhone? And even if you say yes, we all know that eventually, it will not work. How do I know? How do I fucking know? You want to see how I know? Hold on. Here's the 3G. It doesn't work. It hooks up to Wi-Fi and stuff, but good luck actually using the iPhone 3G. That's kind of my point, okay? I'm going to put that down for a second. That's all I'm saying, all right? That's it. Don't believe me, all right? Let's listen to some other random people on the internet here. This guy goes, sorry, but at 50 years down the road, no one is going to restore a Tesla. Okay. And it's right next to an old Challenger. That looks like a Challenger. I could be totally wrong. They all kind of look the same. But it's safe to say I'm willing to put money on it. The guy's probably right. I mean, not to mention you have to put all new, whatever. It doesn't really matter. That's just to prove a point. I think they're correct on that. Just saying.
I think this whole time we've had it wrong. I think all we've needed for a vehicle is just like an old-ass sedan. This thing is fucking cool, man.
But there's like a huge trend going on where people are getting these older cars. I have an old 85 car as well, and the interior's awesome. It still runs great, all original shit. I've had to fix some things. But I'm not saying that's the most practical thing, but this is becoming like a big trend where people are kind of like steering away from these newer cars. They're just not, well, besides the fact they can't afford it. But hey, you know, I totally get it. I'm not saying it's the most practical thing, but it does seem as if things are going backwards. Like if you look at these, here's what I mean by going backwards. This dude hit me up on Instagram with his 2018 Chevy Malibu. It's not about how much he's paying for it. That's what he was talking to me. But just look at it. Chevy Malibu, 2018. Standard car. Typical sedan, right? It's like your uncle drives that. Okay? But here's what I'm saying. That the new cars suck. Check this out. Let's go back in time. Hold on. Get ready for it. To the 1970 Chevy Malibu. Look at this. Just fucking look at it. And if you're not looking, the car looks like a drug dealer's pulling up in a leather jacket, right? Sunglasses. He's got a toothpick hanging out, right? It looks like your wife's going to cheat on you with this guy. That's what kind of car this looks like, Chevy Malibu, compared to the 2018 Chevy Malibu. I mean, I'm not going to show the 2018 interior because we all know what it looks like. I should have put that song right here. It's a piece of shit. Anyways, let's listen to what this little lady says. She's getting pissed off, too, about these new cars.
This is the start of my formal petition to get the cars, all of the cars that have the stupid start-to-stop feature thing in the middle of the console you can like turn off so your car doesn't stop at every freaking light. This is my petition. So sign below in the comments if you agree that we should get rid of this crap. I have had to put it in the shop for a week or more for maybe 4 or 5 times. And every single time, it costs at least minimum $2,000 to fix it.
Typical.
Every single time. Same issues happen every single time. Warranty doesn't cover any of it. You know, it's like they knew that this would F up. And they were like, we're not going to cover any of that. So we can just get paid $2,000 every couple months. But
I did rent a car recently. It was like, it had that stop and start feature every time you pulled up to a red light. And every single time I was like, you have to turn it off. And then it didn't have that buckle to shift feature. But there were like these crazy features in there where like you're going to leave the car and it would just be dinging. And then you have to like click a button and then there's a thing on the screen where it's like, if you have a child in the back seat, make sure you get your kid. And you'd have to hit like okay every single time. And I'm like, yeah, I never quite understood that. It's just another feature where something can go wrong. Okay, and here's where a mechanic is going to explain versus some dude that you're listening to on YouTube in a leather jacket.
I'm kind of curious, like, when did the labor costs on fixing cars go through the roof?
Well, hey there, local mechanic here, and I'm actually owner-operator, and I'll tell you exactly why and when mechanic repairs became so expensive and why labor rates are so expensive and why they charge you to look at your car. For one, Cars are extremely more complicated than they were 30, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They get more complicated every freaking year. Think about all the lane adaptive assist controls, all the electronics that they put them in them. They're using CAN bus systems, which are run off Ethernet now. You got to stay educated, more than a doctor almost, to fix these cars. Not only
More than a doctor. Literally. iPhone on wheels, man. It's kind of fucking crazy. It makes no sense considering we literally have the iPhone attached to our fucking hip, snuggled up at night with it. That's what I don't understand. It's kind of like, I have enough computers and TVs already. I don't need to drive one. But hey, I'm just that kind of cat. No shade to you guys. I really don't care. Like, I get it. It's the new.
that, let me show you why the labor costs are so expensive on a particular Jeep I'm working on. Let me show you. It's what's called planned obsolescence. When you have plastic parts you put on your vehicle, it's going to fail. Your newer vehicles are going to fail. It's cheaper to labor-wise fix older vehicles which are much better designed, because these newer vehicles are designed in a manner to where they want you to spend as much money as possible regardless of the situation. So this is not going to, get any better unless we do something about it.
I'm just getting to my point.
It's a real thing, though, man. I got a 40-year-old car, all original. I've had to replace some things. It runs no problem. And unfortunately, planned obsolescence is a real thing. It really is. Like this iPhone, don't make me get the 3G out. Don't make me go get the fucking Nokia. Do you want me to get it? It's right over there. I'll get it. They don't work. You can't even call with them if you wanted to. The technology is gone. We're on 5G now. We're on another fucking, we're beyond the ether. Okay? And that's kind of like these cars. I mean, imagine your Tesla 20 years from now. They're like, oh, that operating system doesn't exist. Like, you can't turn it on. You see what I'm saying? So, anyways, here's back to we're going to wind this down, go full circle to the community of people, which I'm also included in, who just are kind of tired of the new cars.
Life, that I'm tired of all this new shit and the sensors and everything else.
Look at that interior.
I'm getting to the point. If it ain't old enough to have an ashtray in it, I don't want it.
Should have had like wood grain grip, faux on tipping. But yeah, I mean, this is the car I recently bought. I got the 2007 Grand Marquis. And it doesn't have an ashtray. I mean, it has like the dinging with the seat belts, but it's a simple car. It's easy breezy. And in 10 years from now, it'll still be running. Okay? All right? And this is kind of a new thing going on. It's kind of like a 50-50 split. I actually heard the statistic recently where it's like half. It's like 80% of the cars on the road, no, maybe not 80%, but half of the cars on the road are 14 years old. Your average car on the road is 14 years old. So I don't want to make it seem like everybody's just doing this, but it will eventually get to a point where you have to. Like this guy right here, he's just driving an old school Ford Taurus. My mom used to have this car. It's a beautiful car. Look at that, got the upgraded radio in there. You know, the OG. Look at those knobs, dude. Just makes you feel warm inside. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I'm kind of sticking old school, and as long as I can, really, I guess. And part of it's kind of just money. You know, I don't feel like dropping that kind of money on something that probably won't last me. You know, the cool thing about like these older cars, we'll end on this note, unless they just ban older cars. But like something like this with like the wood grain and all that shit, it's safe to say, even if you got it for 10 grand, you know, in 5 years, it'll probably still be worth 10 grand. And it'll probably still run, you know. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I know you will. I'm just... cars, you know. Fucking buckle up. Good talk.